think you're gonna find yourself one smiling motherfucker. Right now, you got ability. Ability don't last, and your days are just about over. Now that's a hard motherfucking fact of life, but that's a fact of life your ass is gonna have to get realistic about. See, this business is filled to the brim with unrealistic motherfuckers. Motherfuckers who thought their ass would age like wine. If you mean it turns to vinegar, it does. If you mean it gets better with age, it don't. You my nigga.
Ladies, gentlemen, and racist pieces in between, this is your boy, this is your Spick, this is your dirty dick nigga, Soul Papo with another episode. And I think I was getting way too hyped for myself because that kind of energy is not going to continue throughout the rest of the fucking podcast. So let that shit be noted. I have the itis, just came off of Thanksgiving. Double stuffed like a faggot in some kind of wet dream that I'm sure he would have had once or twice, if not nightly. And, you know what I'm saying, just did the gluttonous thing as the Americans, or I should say as the Europeans who raped and pillaged the Indians, giving them anal beads in exchange, had intended. So be thankful for that. Especially I stem away from the social media for real, which they say is supposed to make you happier. It definitely makes you feel more isolated. Whether or not you can deal with your own demons, that's upon you. But I stay away from that. And one thing that I actually like, and because it sneaks up inside, and usually in some of your favorite podcasts, is, you know, being truly thankful, or at least to the conclusion or to the thought, you know, what are you truly thankful for? Or what could you give thanks? Because, I mean, if you're breathing, technically, you can give a little thanks. I mean, unless you're just constantly suffering. But maybe I'm just too blessed to think of that or to be in that, because I often do get lost in it, but I feel like it's just selfish. So anyway, enough about me. What I'm trying to say is fucking ate to my fucking, till I couldn't stuff my face anymore. Damn it, till I couldn't breathe. And watched motherfuckers just go crazy and nuts on, and it's a prior footage, I suppose, of just people that go out on Black Fridays, and maybe if I had money to spare and wasn't not wanting to put it on a credit card, would I be more inclined to be part of the craziness? But like, I wonder myself, like, man, like, they really fucked us into thinking that after this day of thanks, which again is a cover up for another time where we pull the jack move, you know, we want to then, you know, become greedy and start beating motherfuckers and racing and panicking over shit that really doesn't have that big of a discount to begin with. Like, for example, this is where my nerdism comes out. I really want a PlayStation for Christmas. I really do. I mean, I could use a treadmill a whole lot more, but regardless, right now, for those in the consumer know, there is what's called the PlayStation Slim, which is pretty much just your direct version of what the current system was. They just made it smaller, slimmer. They figured out how to make it cheaper, and it's cheaper for you. And there's the Pro, as if you are a professional player by playing this. And one of the shitty things about that, and I'll wait for my nerdisms later on when I get into tech, maybe, is just the fact that it doesn't play the Blu-ray. Anyways, regardless, what I'm trying to say is there's two clear choices. Both of them are kind of shitty because you see the evolution of the other team. And then you see the discount that you're being given, or whatever sale that it's giving you, and you're just thinking to yourself, like, fuck, man, that ain't really enough. I mean, is it enough to get people to go crazy and go buy a bunch of these shits? Well, we'll find out in the next month when we see this month's figures. But I mean, just truly, just looking at shit from all around, not even being a Jew and cheap about it, it's not a good deal. At least not enough to, you know what I'm saying, entice me. I mean, well, I can't say that, because it has me fucking curious and looking back and looking at shit that really is unnecessary, but ultimately just not well worth it. At least not well worth it for the things where people call door busters, and they're, you know, like, that's that name in itself, a fucking door buster, something you're gonna fucking come pounding onto the door with so that you can run and scavenge this shit. And I was looking at previous videos of people, you know, truly living up to the doorbuster name, and man, you see poor black bitches losing their wigs, you're seeing pregnant bitches getting stomped over, and just a lot of nonsense that, you know, it's fucking definitely entertaining. Do I really want to be up at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning to see? No, not really. And then on top of that, which I think eventually business is figured, and they were open on Thursday. They were open on Thanksgiving Day at fucking 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. or whatever fucking time. Like, people haven't even had enough time to let dinner digest, and their asses go to try to get these fucking sales. That's ridiculous. Like, it really ain't worth it. And please believe, I really want a brand new 4K UHD, whatever the fuck curve bitch is out right now. But I mean, I know even shit's still in the goddamn G's. You want me to go bust down the door for that shit? Hell no. I mean, I'm waiting for the riots to happen over this Trump shit, and it still hasn't yet. So I'm just like, maybe it ain't gonna happen. Maybe I should just settle down. But for them to just have all this, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. From some shit that started back when was it the Thanksgiving parades of Macy's and the Sears or wherever the fuck's still going on. It was to initiate and say, look, we have these deals. I mean, for it to make the jump into the fucking your gray Thursdays and your cyber fucking Mondays, and can we get everything that was fucking distributed and manufactured within a year or so out the fucking store because the new shit coming in? Can we? That's no, it ain't gonna work on me. Are you gonna have me stare at the ads and wish and fucking think of the days when I was a little kid hoping on Christmas? Yeah, maybe. But it's just some nonsense you just gotta shake off. And it's a damn shame that they associate that with the day that you have to quote unquote give thanks. I mean the Indians have to be pissed. But I mean, if they smoking cohibas in a casino, I mean, come on now. We all broke a little even now, didn't we? Now, if I may take this into tech news for a little bit, I do want to talk about some video games. Now, I, without a doubt, unapologetically am a PlayStation fanboy, and I feel like any gamer has to also be a Nintendo fanboy, because especially in this generation, it's always going to be split between two, but there's always one that's still in your heart, whether or not it's existent. So whether it was this Nintendo versus Sega, Atari was in your hearts, because I was one of the granddaddies. Now that we're in the Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo's has to be in your hearts, because that's, once again, the last survivor. And it's just, good old wholesome fun. But what I wanted to do was to kind of give a shout out, a recognition, RIP salute to the Wii U. Now, the Wii U was definitely mistaken for the Wii, which came out in 2006. I'm pretty sure you might have a dusted up one in a closet or in the garage somewhere, either broken or just haven't been touched, like a fucking old ass wife that, ain't as limp as she once was. Anyways, the Wii, who's once again 10 years old about now, just sold like hotcakes, because the way that Nintendo marketed this shit was fucking perfect. Your grandparents have it, your parents have it, your fucking kids had to have it because Mario was in it, and it was also one of the cheaper shits out the bunch. Now, the one disappointing thing about this system, I really want to say, is the fact that it came... Nintendo's never been cutting edge with graphics. Ever in its history. It's either been up par or just a little bit below. But the one great thing about that, and why it doesn't matter, is because they have the kind of engineers and producers behind this shit that can take advantage of what they're given and not need all the, flashy and glittery shit. Which is what kind of makes the product last the test, or last the test of time? Yeah, because they're classic, and that's one thing about classics, is that it doesn't go out of style. Anyways, it still had the same graphics of the GameCube, and if you didn't fuck with the GameCube, that's when the original OG Xbox came out in the PlayStation 2. That's that era. I think it's the 4th gen. I'm not too sure. 5th gen, and then, so now afterwards, PS3, Xbox 360, Wii came along in that same category. Not really competing, just kind of on its own gimmick, on its own regard, waggle controls, which either you fuck with it or did it. A lot of people did it, but for some reason, a lot of people kept them anyway. And whether you used it for Netflix or just to play fucking Me Maker and Wii Sports, whatever. It was in homes. It was one of the biggest selling systems. I want to say up to date, like 100 million. Matter of factly, I'm not even too sure if they stopped production on them shits, because they kept on switching it up to smaller, more cheaper, no Wi-Fi connection, sorts of things, missing ports, just whatever it is that got you. Some didn't even come with disk drives, so you had to download the shit. Which, is kind of the age where we're going to go to eventually. And Anyways, it sold like gangbusters. So when the Wii U came out, it's its first HD system. It's the first thing that gives you fucking HDMI. You know what I'm saying? It even had like this. I mean, it was Fisher Price looking, but it came with a touchpad. You know, it was what was supposed to be the next incarnation, the next generation. And where they fucked up is, for the most part, because you figure people are gonna look beyond the surface, but for the most part, basic ass consumers, your basic bitch shopper, is just gonna see something, say, okay, we already have it. I see the word Wii. The kids don't play with the Wii no more. I'm not gonna fuck with it. Not knowing it's a whole brand new system. Not knowing this is your next stage of getting your Super Mario fix, and you know whatnot, whatever your favorite Nintendo characters are. Shout out to Zelda. And it just didn't sell. I think it was like 13 million that it sold worldwide, which is a damn shame, because the current generation consoles, your PS4s, your Xbox Ones, they're in the, I think, 20, 40 to 80 range. So it's, 20 to 40 range. So you gotta think to yourself, like, man, like, they really didn't cut it. So now, as I might have mentioned before, as you might have seen before elsewhere, is that the Nintendo has a new Nintendo Switch, staying and going away from the word Wii onto the next, generation of shit, which, like I said, they really, and I feel bad that they abandoned the Wii U so quickly. The motherfucker only lasted 4 years. Usually a console generation lasts about 6 to 8. I mean, PlayStation 2 lasted 10 years. By the way, it's also the 10-year anniversary of the PlayStation 3, which was ridiculous when it came out. It was like $600, but it was the first time anybody had Blu-ray. It was actually the cheapest way to get a Blu-ray was by buying that. Mind you, Sony makes Blu-ray, so it was a fucking done given there. It's just, man, even like NASA, they made a supercomputer out of buying 10 of those bitches. So that kind of shows you the power that's behind this shit. I mean, the one fault that I will say about the PlayStation 3, besides it being so fucking expensive, and then eventually them figuring out how to whittle and kind of chip shit away, it's just it being so fucking so strong. It was so hard to develop because it led away from the basic PC stylings of development that the 360 was, and which is probably why they won that generation. You know what I'm saying? It's really easy to build shit like a PC because that's kind of a universal thing. Unless you're Mac, I mean, for the most part, people are going to be PC. Just the basic concept of doing shit. The easier you make things for people, the more they can create. The more content that there is, the more that you're going to have a selection to choose from. And then this would eventually make things oversaturated and flooded, and that's a whole nother topic for another day. Now, with the Wii, like I said, they finally said it out loud that they were going to stop production on the system, which pretty much lets you know we gave up on this bitch and we're moving on to the next thing, over on to the next phase. The fact that most consoles, I think, are barely stopped their distribution shits, and that's from their last generation of shits. If you looked at the, your advertisements for this back last the shopping season, is that the old systems were still on the market because they're actually still pumping out games. Believe it or not, they're still pumping out games for the fucking original Wii, that dusty old crusted joint that I talked about earlier. I mean, it's a fucking dancing game, but the fact that they're still whipping out shit for it lets you know how much money it made and how much money they still think they can make. Because anytime that you see a company that's making something, it's because they have a belief, they have an understanding that so much of this is going to sell. A lot of times there's false predictions and they overhype themselves and they throw money in the hole. But one thing I will say about Nintendo, at least what they do, is that when they produce something, they're always making money from it. Right now, or what happened last time with PlayStation 3, Sony was losing money every time it made these shits, because what it sold it for wasn't how much it cost. But they were eating up that cost because they figured the more consoles we can get into the home, well, the more software we can sell. And they pretty much pimp and tax all the other publishers and all the other creators and all the other third-party companies that put shit on that system. So it's kind of like they're getting a tax cut, regardless. So that's how they eat. Now with Nintendo, they just fully said, fuck it, no one's gonna give a damn about this Wii U because they think it's the old shit, they don't understand it's the new shit, and they made it more defined, more modern, and the motherfucker looks like a legit ass tablet that you can add in some fucking joysticks to. And that's ultimately the only thing that keeps me from fucking playing on my phone or on a tablet, because I can't get down with fucking touching the screen shit. Like, that's not cool. Like, cybersex is gonna have to really get into a few generations before you can give yourself so much, or at least before I decided to lose myself that much and immerse myself in the shit that just is a fucking screen. Please believe it does get our attention though. That's why kids can watch some cartoons and be totally sour stoned because of the shit that they're seeing. They're hypnotized. That's why motherfuckers have seizures, because they can't take it. And that's some of the things that they noticed. But I wanted to give shout outs to the Wii U. It definitely was a dope ass system. So dope, in fact, that upon this next generation of the Nintendo Switch, they're porting most of the games, which is pissing me off. And of course, it's gonna make me chill and not be so eager to fucking buy this bitch, because they're literally taking all the dopest things that happened this past generation. Mario Kart 8, Splatoon, the current Zelda game that's about to be published, that was supposed to come out next year, but they really needed this shit to sell the next system. They're calling it Breath of the Wild. There's a lot of things that they're taking, because obviously if history has any way of proving anything, is that it repeats itself, and that nostalgia is a big fucking seller. That's the whole reason why I think when Nintendo decided to do this year, because they're not releasing the system this year where you figure they'd sell it for a holiday season, for the shopping season. No, they're waiting till March, possibly June if they really fuck up. But this season they sold an old ass, and you've seen those little plug-and-play shits, whether it's the swap meet or at the little kiosk at the mall that has the generic knockoff versions of old school video games. Well, Nintendo, after so many fucking years, finally figured, hey, we can make money this way. And, put a $60 price on it, which is pretty much the modern day price of a new game anyway. So it wouldn't be too much trash off of people's backs. And it's like a miniature version of the original Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. It has like 30 classic joints on there, ranging from your Marios to your Zeldas to your Metroids. Pretty much what people actually pay, maybe even $50 to hundreds of dollars worth for just per game if you have it in a physical, boxed, with a fucking manual and poster kind of copy. That costs too much, it takes too much time, and y'all animals can have at it, but here, this thing that we can sell, I mean, it literally sold out before you can even be out, really, whether online or on shelves. So much so that motherfuckers are overpriced and shit into the thousands. And one of the things that really fucked me up and really made me fucking hate this shopping season is that Walmart was redistributing or holding back the shits that they had, because they saw how much it was selling for, and they were selling it for $500. This fucking system that retail-wise should cost only $60, you motherfuckers are holding them hostage online only for $500? Like, you motherfuckers, like, I mean, this is fucked up to say, especially, since my heart goes to Nintendo. It'd be fucked up to have some kind of deal with Walmart saying, hey, we're gonna print these shits on a limited run. Let's hijack these bitches. Dumb motherfuckers will buy these shits like hotcakes. They just did it too late. I mean, they gave a little bit of taste, and those motherfuckers also proceeded to do the same damn thing. So they undercut it for half, and it's just a big old mess. Like, goddamn you, and the nostalgia strings that you pull. I'm not that fucking old, so that shit was near and dear to my heart, so I give no fucks. Maybe the SNES. I mean, definitely if Sega did a fucking Dreamcast version, but for the most part, nah, I'm cool. I mean, Sega tried doing it. They've been doing it. Sega, then again, because Sonic, who was the fourth flag of Sega, and Sega's a dope company as far as making games. Like, they're the shit. They make really creative shit that get no fucking play. For example, on the Wii, which I'm sure nobody played, Mad World. It was like a comic-based fucking hack and slash shit of this dude who looks like Hellboy, is in this like arena type shit. And he just has to just mark people in order to make it to the next level. Is it mindless? Yeah, but it's fucking gory and it's adult and it's awesome and it's definitely not your average, Mickey Mouse sort of shit. And people, they just didn't give no love. Sega is really dope at making certain shit like that. There's another game, and I haven't gotten it yet just because there's too many things in my collection that I haven't played, and then by the time I do get to play them, one of the fucking kids break. I've gone through a few PS3s, and it breaks my heart. I'm like, man, I should have already got this PS4, and that's how they get you. I almost feel like there's like a self-destruct button that motherfuckers do. So once it's time to, kind of renew and update, just to make sure that your ass does. And I'm pretty sure fucking Apple does that, because as soon as it's time to fucking upgrade, phone starts fucking up, starts lagging, starts being slow, and I take care of my shit. Like, I treat my fucking phone like a virgin's dick. Like, I keep it safe. And for that shit to fucking malfunction or to go slow and to lag, it's like, nah, nigga, I ain't falling for this shit. Speaking of the PlayStation and its fucking shortcomings and its awesomeness and its, 10-year anniversary since the bitch came out, like, I don't know where the fuck the time goes. I have no idea how old I was then. I don't want to think about how old I am now. It's just this motherfucker. And right now, the current PlayStation 4 has two versions currently out. There's the Slim, which like I said, it's the basic model that they figured out a cheaper way how to make it. cheaper for everyone included. Then they have the Pro, which is supposed to be the professional version, the faster, fucking more high def. When the systems, and I'm referring to Xbox One and PlayStation 4, when they came out, they were definitely underpowered as far as where the current technology was at the time. Like, PCs stay growing and stay building and stay upgrading, which is why you have your PC master race and have motherfuckers that go buy that shit and don't fuck with the home consoles because they're just always lacking. I mean, I don't have time to fuck with settings, to tweak this, to tweak that, to not hear this, to not see that. No, just, give me some shit to plug in and play it, and we're done with it, And obviously, the more you get into it, then the more tech you are, and the more you are willing to go for your particular thing. But most consumers are not. They're not about that. And I guess when they push out these next systems, they must have not given too many fucks and figured, fuck it, these people will eat it up. They sure as shit did, which is why Sony was winning the most in that regard. And a lot of their businesses was going shitty, whether it be the DVD players or the computers especially. Even some of the TVs are not really selling. The one fucking thing that did fucking sell is the PlayStation. That's what gave them dough. That's what kind of kept the gravy train running. So of course they're gonna milk shit for more of what it's worth and re-release it and sell you something that you already have for the most part. Like I said, I hadn't taken the jump yet, and I was really contemplating doing it this time, especially since my woman, she's like, oh, I'm gonna buy it for you. I'm thinking, no, girl, we could go halves. But even then, I'm like, no, I don't want it. I really don't. Because right now, what Xbox has going on is the Xbox Slim. Because every few years, like I said, they figure out, how can we make this shit cheaper, run as good, if not better? Well, Xbox definitely, and they always do. Everyone does that. Every console does that, and that's just how it goes. Now, it was time for this current generation to go through that upgrade. And Microsoft, what they did was they added 4K Blu-ray DVD player in there, which is dope. And you figure Sony would do the same thing because Sony owns Blu-ray. They're the ones who manufacture this shit. They get to pimp a little bit off the top when it comes to every Xbox system sold off of that DVD player. So, whatever. But that doesn't make them as much as what would happen if their systems would sell us up, because there's no tax or no pimping fee or however that shit goes. But anyways, in the new Slim version, Xbox has that 4K DVD player. That is honestly something I would want, because I recently just got a 4K TV. So I would like to have a DVD player that's going to work. I think it's going to show off what the fuck this TV has to show off, right? Well, Sony would have been my excuse to have it, because I'm definitely not going to buy a standalone DVD player. Like, who the fuck has those? Like, the fact that our TVs are smart TVs and can play Netflix already, why the fuck would I want a box that could play a disc? Unless that bitch that plays a disc can play a bunch of other discs. Enter why the home console has become such a mainstay in most homes. So when the new Pro, who's even stronger than all that's out right now, until eventually Microsoft releases what is codenamed the Scorpio. It'll be named something different, but that's just the code name. So the fact that Microsoft's reboot has something more than what the reboot and the supposed upgrade has, it leaves such a shitty taste, and it really made me not want to give my money, and really makes me hope that if I just fucking wait, hopefully I don't have to wait a year. But whatever, I'm not in no fucking hurry, no matter if my systems break down, which I almost feel is like the universe either fucking with me or just, I don't, why have another distraction, is that, I really hope that it gets integrated. I mean, it took me damn near the whole lifespan of the PS3 to finally get a PS3. And the fact that I've gone through more of them in the past year than I have, waiting for the bitch, is what it kind of also left some more sour pussy taste in my mouth. But hey, that's one of the things that really makes the shopping season just all the more like, I really don't want. So spend your time more wisely. Now, I will say, and I'm quite contradictory, so Lord forgive me, but if you were to, be able to use your time wisely to pick select games, well, then I do have a little bit of a list that I would want for you to get in right now, especially with the current gen fighting over the fucking upgrade of the system that does the same goddamn thing. It might be a good time to kind of go back into the previous generation and pick up some shits that are dope, that you will definitely enjoy, and that, you know what I'm saying, good time killers, but also hopefully just good experience overall. Now with the PlayStation 3, a lot of shit that came to it were third-party games that were also found on Microsoft 360, but it had a lot of exclusives. Sony, by far, I want to say, has some of the dopest exclusives, second to Nintendo, because you're never gonna find Super Mario or Legend of Zelda unless it's gone by another name, or until Nintendo hits the same sales as Sega did. But if you pick up a PlayStation 3, and a lot of some of the dopest games that are on the PlayStation 3 were ported into the PS4. So if you have the chance, and these, I'm going to go over some games that are kind of universal. Grand Theft Auto 5, if you haven't played it, I haven't even fucking finished. There's so many side shits to fucking do, but they once again rebooted it and did it for the next current systems. It was also on pretty much every platform other than Nintendo, so you definitely want to give that shit a try. Even if you just want to fuck around, blow shit up, get out all your sadistic shit out the way, do it there. It's safer. Hopefully God won't judge us by doing it there. Red Dead Redemption, which is, I love westerns. It reminds me of being with my daddy before my daddy left to get a pack of cigarettes and never came home again. That's just, it's reminiscent to all the old fucking good, bad, and ugly sort of shits. But also gives, you know what I'm saying, it's not that it's modern, but they say enough fucks and shits to make you feel like it is. And by the way, there's going to be a new one that's going to come out next year, which might be the reason, and it might be the time that I actually upgrade. But definitely fuck with Red Dead Redemption. Dope fucking story. You get to ride horses and shoot motherfuckers. That's always dope. If you watch my gaming channel, you might have seen me hang a nigga too. Lord forgive me. Enslaved, which is where you had to carry a bitch on your back to, you know what I'm saying, save her because she kept you hostage. Definitely, I want to say, has a little social commentary that they didn't really say out loud. But as far as exclusives go, like I said, these shits are cheap. You're going to definitely find these under $20. If you look right, you'll find them $10 and under. The Last of Us, which they again had a remastered version, not only for the PS4, but again for the PS4 Pro. It's dope even by fucking that, you know what I'm saying, last gen standards. And I didn't get to fucking finish it because the shit was mad fucking scary. And by the time I got into it, I had the fucking kids with me. Kids are always around when you don't want them to. But then another fucking big reason as to why you'd want to stick with the PlayStation family is the God of War series. Now you could have hack and slash and methodical other shit on other things, maybe, possibly, but not this shit. And next year, once again, I'm gonna probably jump into the next year. Next year, there's gonna be another version where the Nordic mythological history. So that's some dope shit. The Uncharted series, which you might get a taste of through the Tomb Raiders if you have the competitive system, but definitely one of those things to where it gives you a fucking action movie. And it's, you know what I'm saying, enough, it's exciting and not too fucking difficult. You know what I'm saying, you can enjoy yourself. Go enjoy yourself, bitch. Nintendo, they really don't ever depreciate too much in value, similar to your fucking Hondas and shit. But if you do see them cheap, or if you just maybe kind of come across the system and you see someone selling it online because they don't fucking play with it, but definitely you're guaranteed to have a good time, whether you're a kid at heart or you actually have some little ones, and you pick up a Wii U, yo. Give it some love. There ain't too many more of those out there. They might even become kind of collective. Who fucking knows? Because that's always the thing about it. They always love you when you're gone. Tupac, Biggie, they always love you when you're gone. Wii U, nigga, we gon' love you once you're gone. Not right now, though. But if you pick anything up, again, Splatoon, dope-ass third/first-person shooter that... It's a third-person shooter, technically. But there ain't no blood and violence. It's gang war fights. You know what I'm saying? Good old wholesome shit. Smash Bros. Wii U, which they had so many different characters. Motherfucking Bayonetta sexy ass was in that bitch. Fucking from Ryu from Street Fighter, like some dope ass shit. You gotta pay for those extras, so if you are into that, they're gonna port that bitch for sure on the Switch. And I'm hoping that they make those characters for free off the top. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which originally was a GameCube game, but so beautiful and so timeless that they remastered the bitch and brought it back. That's a dope one to go for. They fucking have DuckTales remastered. And if any of you old farts played DuckTales back on the NES, I don't know if you remember how fucking hard it was. It definitely is, but it's definitely fun. And like I said, it has those bright colors that the kids can hopefully enjoy. And then another thing that they're definitely importing over to the Switch, but you gotta give it a shout out. Like I said, I'm hoping you can find it in a cheap fucking bundle, is Mario Kart 8. One of the most beautiful fucking games this past generation. Still, I think one of the most beautiful games. And it just makes me fucking excited to be able to enjoy this shit because it's dope ass. It's just fun. I feel like a fucking nerd, but it's fun. You know what I'm saying? I would fucking throw Donkey Kong ass out there with the country series, but that's just hard as shit. Fuck Donkey Kong, gorilla ass nigga. And then of course you have, and I'll end this shit quickly, but then you have Yoshi's Woolly World, which is fucking beautiful. It's like Yoshi made out of yarn, and he just lives in a world full of yarn. That's fucking badass. And for those gamers, that old school gamers say, man, they don't make games that they used to, like the fucking Mega Mans and the Metroids and the shit like that, pick up Shovel Knight. That bitch is literally on every fucking system. You won't be disappointed. It'll take you back to your heyday and have you some fun. We live in a fucked up world. Go have yourself some fun. That's all I'm gonna say about games. They is fun. But the fuck is these? That's fucked up, ain't it though? News: Ohio woman is caught soliciting sex for nachos and cash. Now, a Beavers Township, Ohio woman was caught soliciting sex, and this bitch wanted some sex. She was given some sex, but she was adamant that this nigga had to have $60 and some nachos. Now, officers arrested this 36-year-old Crystal Holotz during a sting operation involving an actual undercover officer. Now, investigators said that Holotz, whatever her name is, H-O-T, Hotlos, with a Z at the end, had an advertising for sex on a Youngstown Backpage website. That's the thing that always fucks me up about the Backpage website. It's like, I'm wondering, like, how can you really trust that shit? I mean, I can imagine how you can get to that point. Actually, I think me and once, homie were horny as hell, thinking we need a bitch to do some dance. And we might have attempted to look at that shit, but man, how the hell do you pull the trigger on that shit? And I mean, I imagine it really goes down on that shit. But anyways, this bitch met up with the officer, and they were even going, and there's even proof on text of her agreeing to, to get down for $60 and nachos. Now, when she had met up with the officer, who was undercover, of course, in the parking lot at a Mexican restaurant, apparently she was very adamant, and this is in quotations, very adamant about getting the nachos. And when the officer asked several times, or I guess when she had asked the officer several times if she had them, as well as the cash, she would just somehow change the subject. Now, I wish I could hear audio of this shit, because this shit just has me rolling, because they're charging her with possessions of criminal tools. And again, they just further illustrate how badly this bitch got her nachos. They never reported if she ever got them. Goddamn. One of the other messed up things that's happening in old Ohio, the Cleveland Browns, man. They're last I heard, and I don't really keep up with the foosball, but they're at, I guess, 0-10. And there's all these people, I'm not sure if they're petitioning or if they're just talking about it, but they might have a parade for the Cleveland Browns, that they have a perfect 0-16 season. Like, to say, to have it there in a plaque on the wall, like, perfect season for never winning a fucking game. It has to be the biggest fuck you. That's some fucked up. That's fucked up, ain't it though? Now, going back to more dumb bitches, there was a worker who, it doesn't say the name of the coffee shop, but this bitch is a barista, 24-year-old at the city of Waldo woman, Jessica Ward. And this bitch was fired or charged for making false report concerning a planting of a bomb, which is a fucking felony. And according to news released, that it was because she wanted some fucking me time. This bitch. Now, the threat was made against the university's engineering building, and Ward, which worked in the building. Oh, here he goes. Java Hut. It's a coffee kiosk. And this bitch just, I don't know if she had bills to pay, or she couldn't deal with motherfuckers right now that is made a fucking bomb threat. The audacity of the bitch, like, that's a Trump nation right there. Like, I don't want to deal with it, so this is how I'm gonna fucking eliminate this shit. Can you just imagine, like, this bitch calling this bomb threat, and them like ransacking. This is at a university, fucking ransacking through all the fucking Muslim kids, like just fucking run overing bitches, fucking thinking that this bitch who's Indian, she just happened to be a bit dark, fucking going all up in the shit, trying to find where the hell it's planted at. Like, that's fucked up. Ain't it though? Yo, there was a middle school teacher in Baltimore who was fired after telling a group of 8th graders that they should focus on their education instead of wanting to be like punk ass niggers who get shot.
You're idiots! You have a job, you got an education! But you want to be a little punk-ass nigger who's gonna get shot!
Now, at first I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, maybe she... Shit. What excuse could you give a fucking teacher for saying that? Maybe she's a history teacher, and maybe she was talking about, you know what I'm saying, the evolution, and, you know, this is a white ass lady, and maybe she just doesn't want to, you know, give blacks, you know what I'm saying, down degradation, and, no, she's a fucking science teacher. I mean, apparently she was a lot of students' favorite teachers, but I mean, now this happened at a Harlem Park Elementary / middle school, which, I mean, just the name alone tells me there's a heaping of niggas there. But she's a fucking science teacher out there, and apparently she was going on a rampage, throwing M-bombs like no other. Now, supposedly the video, there's other videos that I'm not too sure why they didn't, you know, put it along with this one, which makes it sound as evil as it is. And I'm not defending the bitch. I'm not defending the bitch at all, because they don't even release her name, which tells me that's some fucking white privilege shit right there, bitch. They would have called out anyone else for being a fucking idiot. But I'm wondering though, and mind you, these are damn near teenagers, or they're the worst teenagers because they just got into high school, don't know what proper ass whooping, and they feel like they're the king of their dominion. And I could see just them fucking being rowdy as hell, which is how teens are. You know, you can't get, like, just when the kid's acting retarded, you can't get too mad at them. They're fucking kids. So just, but how does she, I mean, she must have really fucking hit her breaking point, and there ain't no goddamn excuse for that, which is why they fired her. Fucking A$AP Rocky, who I'm pretty sure is the one starting the goddamn ruckus. What the fuck is these? That's fucked up, ain't it though? Yo, it's been widespread as of late that they've been using the facial recognition for criminals, and Mesa in Arizona, they're actually leading, you know, taking the charge and using it down here. And on some fucked up minority report shit where they can kind of peg someone who might have done something, who would have a high likelihood of doing it. They're targeting the blacks. Wouldn't you fucking know it? And of course, being the holiday season, or I should say the spending season, or the fucking shopping season, or whatever the fuck that pushes consumerism, their retailers now are fucking using the face recognition shit off the tops. And I mean, using security cameras and stuff to deliver thieves has been long accepted practice among the retailers, but now they say they're really trending in the facial recognition shit. Now, and these reports are coming out from the UK, where a number of retailers are investing in the cameras with that technology to identify, you know, thieves, and in some cases also big spenders. Now, with these facial recognition cameras installed, retailers can snap a picture of customers either before entering or during a store visit, and they can run it against police databases of known shoplifters. Now, if individuals' face matches a known thief, managers of the store receive a notification to their phones, and then they have the option to either keep the individual from even entering in the bitch, or to follow them around, you know, while they're shopping. Fucking, you gonna have little chinas everywhere saying, "Hurry up and buy." Now, despite the fact that customers consider the use of facial recognition technology as a breach of privacy, retailers can give no fucks and nonetheless are adopting the systems, fucking with goddamn gusto. Because, I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't help against fucking employees who are stealing, but it will definitely catch a nigga or two. Now, while the U.S. supposedly doesn't appear to have adopted the technology as quickly, they're still in some major retails, and they can defer fucking shoplifters like no fucking business. Like, I remember my cousin who fucking, you know, might have taken a nail polish or two that she ain't allowed, and she don't even come in that bitch no more for that fucking very fear. And now, one of the things that fucked me up the most, especially with them targeting quote-unquote big spenders, I was at fucking Costco the other day, and I had the basic whatever gold membership, and this bitch, like, as soon as I was fucking finished ringing up, fucking runs to me and tells me, "We need to talk to you." And I'm like, for what? Because I just, like, you know, I was high, had the kids, I'm like, what do y'all want? And and they're like, we have a special offer for you. And I was like, holy shit, this is the fucking internet in real life, with the fucking flashing and they sending a white bitch to come get me, as if they fucking know. Send in the pale bitch, because he's not gonna listen to a nigga. Like, send in the most palest one that you got. That was a coincidence, and I don't believe in fucking coincidences. So it fucking scared me, and I really felt like I was in the Truman Show, or like my fucking radar, my signal has all my information up. I mean, is that why bitches don't care to look at me? Like, is there like a quick bio or synopsis of me that motherfuckers are seeing, that makes me fucking repellent? But fucking saying, oh, you spend so much and this and that, we want to sign you up for the executive fucking shit, which I'm like, fuck. Because they give you little reward points, you know what I'm saying, for spending so much. You're able to use those reward points, either in store or they give it to you as a Visa. Normally, I mean, it's barely enough to fucking, cover the next shopping trip, which, I mean, mind you, is a big fucking helping hand anyway. And they're like, oh, well, the way that you spend this shit will pay for itself. So I'm thinking, okay, so you guys are fucking me out of my rebate fund is what you're fucking doing, which I whatever fell for. But the fact that they could just upspeed you like that shit just really has me on some. But the fuck is this? That's fucked up, ain't it though? For all my brothers and sisters out there at the wrong place, the wrong time, God bless you. Another big fuck you to our loyalty. There's a man who developed severe hepatitis after binge drinking energy drinks for 3 weeks straight. Now, a 50-year-old construction worker who had consumed 4 to 5 energy drinks a day for 3 weeks was recently diagnosed with acute hepatitis. Now, the condition is characterized by liver inflammation. While not the first case of its kind, the incident points to largely ignored dangers of excess niacin consumption. Versus what happened? Now, a new report published by the British medical journal highlights that the needs for consumers to be aware of all the ingredients found in popular food and drink items and to avoid overconsumption of dietary supplements. Now, doctors who treated the unnamed man believe his sudden bout of hepatitis was caused by excessive energy drink consumption, which included indigestion of shitloads amounts of vitamin B3, also known as niacin. Now, as a construction worker, the man began to consume energy drinks to help him power through his labor-intensive workday. This is why Mexicans do coke in the morning. Now, aside from hitting the energy drinks with unusual fervor, he didn't make any other changes in his eating and drinking habits. Now, soon afterwards, the man started to become unusually fatigued, and he began to experience abdominal pain. Now, when this turned out to be nausea and vomiting, he figured that he had the flu, but the man became particularly alarmed when he developed dark urine and jaundice, which apparently is when his skin was like turning yellow. So wisely, this motherfucker finally went to emergency room. Now, physical examination had affirmed that this motherfucker had right abdominal tenderness, and then lab tests revealed he had high levels of transaminase, some kind of liver enzymes that indicative of damage and evidence of chronic hepatitis C infection. Fucking biopsy of the liver was confirmed that he had fucking the hep. And doctors treated him. It's just some fuck shit, and there's way much more information that you can read upon this. But nigga, like, you figure I got to get through the fucking day, I gotta pay these fucking bills, and the fucking half the one thing you figure, nigga, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I just have my little bit of energy drinks to fucking get me through. For you to get this shit, like, I'm gonna say another goddamn, or I should say God bless, help. What the fuck is this? That's fucked up, ain't it though? So the last little L that I'll throw to retailers, because fuck you, and I guess this is somewhat of an underdog here. Maybe this might have been a way to generate some traffic. Lord knows that it did, and they sold off the shelves until they literally took them off the shelves. Remember Kmart? That used to be like that was like the original Walmart, right? I mean, I know Walmart started from a small little place and became this fucking great big goddamn near conglomerate of shits. But I remember when Kmart fucking ran supreme. I remember getting the catalogs and fucking picking shit out of that shit. And my mom would fucking put the bitch on layaway and I'd get it in a big ass gift, and I was a happy little fucking butterball. But another mother though of an ex-ice addict had slammed Kmart because they were selling a product that resembles a fucking meth paraphernalia. Kmart in Australia had advertised the product as a unique drink jar that would be a great addition to tableware, and it can be used to serve drinks, beverages, and more. The product was created in the shape of a light bulb that comes with a drinking straw built into it. Now, many shoppers have said that, it bears a strong resemblance of a homemade crack pipe light bulb. And that's exactly what it is. If you can Google it, you'll fucking see it's a straight up fucking crack pipe. I remember before they sold like these little rose looking shits that apparently were like some kind of novelty toy that I'm not too sure if it was aimed for kids, but crackheads fucking use them. Yeah, they pulled that shit fucking real quick, and just, I don't know who screens these things or kind of give these ideas, or if it was just someone just trying to maybe make it accessible, or once again trying to gravitate and get a certain fucking type of customer, because especially if you own it back in the day, or I don't know if there still are some, but there used to be some Kmarts where they're like big version, super Kmarts is what they called them, and they're like damn near like mall-sized joints, and sometimes they would stay open 24 hours. So could you imagine like being able to stay open 24 hours and for sure that you're gonna have this clientele coming every fucking night, because wouldn't you know the fucking crack pipe broke? Now I'm not too sure how much money crackheads kind of put off to the side for paraphernalia, but motherfucker, like, meth, that's all I gotta say. It's fucking meth. God bless you. And I don't know what it is that really pisses me off as much, once I get fucking riled. But there's a dude, motherfucker's in South Africa, so I'd assume he's white, especially by the next thing here. He gets his fucking penis stuck in his wedding ring. Needless to say, this motherfucker needed surgery. Now, he thought he was gonna have, a hard time explaining that to his fucking wife. Now, the 28-year-old placed a ring on his member for erotic reasons, that at the recommendation of his friends. I'm assuming he's friends with fucking retarded monkeys. Now, it's not just because he lives in Africa. But 2 weeks after his wife had just given birth, and I'm wondering if that might have been why, because he wasn't getting any ass, but he went to some fucking hospital in Limpopo, and he himself had a Limpopo, for surgeons who took photographs of the damage before removing the ring. Now, they had called this penis strangulation, and the penis was erect and blue, and the patient was in severe pain. Now, surgeons twice failed in attempts to remove the ring once the patient was sedated, but one attempt made by an orthopedic fucking oscillating saw. They're just hearing that fucking this shit. Now, they were unable to remove it due to excessive swelling and the ring being too wide and strong. Which is the fucking the shit, the crazy part. I mean, I don't know what kind of cock ring this was that doubled as a wedding ring, or if he has like fucking gorilla sausage like fingers, but I don't know how the fuck you get it there. I imagine he stuffs it in there while it's fucking worm like, but even then, like, how big is this thing that was he stuffing in the foreskin in there? Was he trying to loop it around? What the fuck? I don't know, but the third time was a charm, and injections drained blood and caused the swelling to subside, enabling them to take off the ring. And apparently he made a full recovery, but when you have to drain the blood out of your dick, I'm just wondering, does that reload? Like when you give blood and you're then without blood, I imagine our body naturally regenerates it, and it just pumps back in there. We have enough blood to kind of circulate and to keep shit moving. But I'm wondering when that shit's to your dick though. And I don't know how you can even recover from it. And there's another fucking story of some motherfucker, and he was in some part of China, and he was too fucking shy to approach the doctor about blood that he found in his urine, but attempted to identify the cause of his illness at home by inserting a stainless steel chapstick into his dick. The man, identified as Chen, was then forced to undergo surgery to remove the 7-inch long object after he had rammed it so far into his genitals that he could not remove it. What the fuck? Now, Chen had reported that the doctors thought his urethra was broken, so he inserted the chopsticks to investigate. Like, motherfucker, like, how? And scans at the hospital showed that the chopstick had reached the man's rectal wall. Oh, God. And oh, shit. If it had gone any more further upward, it could have proved fucking fatal. And when they removed the thing from his dick, they were able to do it safely, or they finished the job, I should say, because they didn't say or report, what's gonna happen at the end of that. What the fuck is these? That's fucked up, ain't it though? Alright, so speaking of other sick, twisted, dark fantasy motherfuckers, Kanye West, had really hit a wall. and we were seeing it day by day as it was happening, and it was kind of like I would even call it slow and steady. It was a generally good paced, average Kanye locomotion of rants and shit, and it seemed like it was getting worse and worse. And the weird, maybe even coincidental part of when he starts outing Beyonce and Jay-Z, who he's fucking taking a bullet for, especially when he first stampeded and got his drunk Kanye on and, you know, got in front of Taylor Swift and did all that shit that kind of started the movement of this bitch assness or fuckery that he's been known to do. And it's trippy that as soon as he yelps that out, though, he was then hospitalized, and they're saying that it was due to like exhaustion, exhaustion and dehydration, which happened to your boy Arizona Verse. And you know, there's no telling, and you know how deep that shit has to impact. I mean, even upon like talking to Verse, which I haven't fucking had any health updates, and I probably should just jump online, but I refuse to know of my brother like that. I want to fucking talk to him. Hello, nigga, I'm calling you out. But I don't know what the fuck that does to your system, but I mean, they're saying he could be in for a few weeks, and it couldn't have come at a shittier time or a better time, because he was in the middle of a fucking tour that I'm not sure if that was a Yeezy tour or what it was, but he still had some shows left. He pretty much shit the bucket though in a couple of them, and then there's reports or there's suspicions saying that he might try to be using the insurance, you know what I'm saying, health insurance, to try to fucking cover his ass from all the lawsuits and shit that, you know, you're about to, you know, endure from all the cancellations, because people probably aren't happy. And I'd imagine so, because these tickets, I imagine, are very fucking expensive. I could imagine out the gate they're already at scalper prices, so it's some fucked up shit, and you know, kind of fucking people over. But then again, when you get insurance, you're pretty much paying into a system that if you're fucked, you'll have to use it. But if you don't ever use it, it's okay, because they're slowly fucking you. They're taking your money. But something of his caliber, though, especially with having fucking elevated fucking levels of stages and I'm imagining dancers and who knows what other fucking Circus Soleil bullshit that would go on in a Kanye concert, you know, you would have to be in the billions, I'd imagine, or no, actually that's probably too much, but fucking definitely in the millions of you know, what a claim would be, or what the, you know, your shit would run. So I mean, shit, like I would do it too, as bad as that sounds. And now I'm in some kind of recognition saying that Soul Papo would fucking do this. But I mean, you're paying so much into a fucking thing, like why wouldn't you use it to fucking cover your ass when you fucked up? I mean, that's what it is too, you know, it's just in case shit. But yeah, I could just imagine how much that shit was paid. And it makes me wonder too, because this nigga was in debt. I mean, blatantly talking shit, or not, I mean, he does that, but on fucking Twitter, asking the CEO of Facebook for some money. Like, you could I mean, he's been laying breadcrumbs of him not being all the way there, or maybe not fully thinking through, or maybe just not being that bright of a person. And we'll see if this will hurt his chances of running in 2020. Wouldn't it be such a redemption filled, you know, time, you know, to see him prevail over this? But it's so weird just after all this other shit, and you seeing people falling. It's so funny funny in a fucked up way, but when, you know, like when stars die, you know, they say they die in threes. And can you just imagine, you know, kind of seeing a shooting star, you know what I'm saying, slowly fizzle out of gas, you know, and if that gas trail that's kind of being shaken up and interjecting all these other molecules and shit, you know, bursts into fire, that bitch becomes a fucking comet. And they've even, you know, all these studies and all these reports about it possibly hitting LA, which, you know, God bless them, and then eventually Arizona will be the new fucking the next hot spot for shit, or at least for hopefully becoming the new LA. So get our bearings in now as I swing this shit. But I mean, Lord forbid, but can you just imagine though, just all the velocity, all the momentum, and whether it be metaphorical or not, it does create just this chain reaction. And sometimes things are definitely fucking hard to stop. And I'll say this to Game, who was recently in the news, and, you know, over being on some reality TV shit, which, you know, he had done. And I mean, nigga shows his dick on fucking IG from last I remember. So, and, you know, he likes the attention. From what I remember too, I think one of the earliest things he had done before he had actually become a rapper was he was on some kind of MTV dating show or some shit. So the ties are fucking very strong with him, which I laugh, and how he was kind of of, sold off into, Interscope, and then, kind of forced to put into G-Unit to give the strict credibility. So this motherfucker might be someone who kind of been bred into the shit, even though I remember having his BT Bigga Jigga Figga Nigga mixtapes that just he was under some pimp management. But what do you call it? He was recently, because he has a show apparently. I don't fucking watch the goddamn show, but it's called She Got Game, and apparently this kind of like a bachelorette kind of show where it's just a bunch of hoes trying to get at him, I imagine. Think a la Flavor of Love. And apparently there's his IG model. I don't know her fucking name. I don't want to give the bitch dap, because who knows if she had plotted this shit or if this nigga just got cut up for being too handsy. But he apparently had sexually assaulted her by fingering her, and her, not knowing what to do. Because I imagine if some niggas just starts fingering you out of nowhere, that you're gonna either put a stop to it or either get with it and end up giving the nigga head or giving up some booty. So I imagine this is his technique, and whether or not she had not, allowed for it. I imagine you get away with some shit. I imagine most of these hoes are fucking blowing his ass. I imagine there's bitches that are on his dick. Yeah, there he was, fingering her, which is the part that I'm not catching. But I imagine if this is how he butters them up, then that's how you fucking do it. And she just had enough strong evidence to actually win against the case. Supposedly they're going to be appealing it, but it kind of boggles me that, if that would have gone through, if they couldn't have paid that shit off, then it's because this nigga's guilty. And we do that sometimes when we feel ourselves too much, and we can't help it. I mean, I know health-wise, I thought I was on some Greek god shit, like legitly, looking back, and, my sexual prowess, like, I guess, it was, and I was a Greek god in its most lustful fucking way. And then I came fucking too gassed up. I was too turned, nigga, and lit, that I fucking damn near doubled my fucking body weight again, coming from what I was like 400 plus, I made it down to 205, I think was the lowest. I was so happy, nigga. I was able to, I felt so light, even though that's a heavy weight anyway. But coming from, 4 stacks, I felt like I could float like a butterfly. I was stinging hoes like a bee. I really was. Got a little something. But you get too high on your own supply, and you end up fucking, withering if you're not humble, if you're not, good about it, and you get caught up. Even shouts out to like one of my biggest fucking inspirations, fucking Freddie Mercury. It was his fucking his death day, and it recently, I don't know if it was like 20 years. Like, I didn't even want to fucking look it up, because it makes me sad in that essence. Same thing with fucking Amy Winehouse. I don't like reading shit about her, because I want to know new details, but having reminisced, like, I love that bitch. Fucking performed sackcloth for her, was in my duds, and I fucking shaved my fucking beard. Like, I, really, went through Shiva for her, and it was just craziness. And with Freddie, even his last years, like, he wanted to keep that shit secret. He actually, the moment he made the announcement, he fucking died the next week. Whether the shit just attacks that quickly, or if he just was lucky enough to kind of give his final words, like, there was something pretty dope about that. And it almost makes me feel like God, God shined down upon him, for real, because obviously he was given a gift. He was even his girlfriend, what was her name, Amy Davis or Amy Adams, no, Mary Austin. She was a cute little güerita, and she was his like girlfriend before he had came out, and he loved her so much though he left damn near everything to her, and he even became godfather of her first kid. And, he says that, she was his best friend, his only friend. And it trips me out that, when he left her estate and she wanted, to donate to something, he's like, no, because it would have been yours. He's like, if things hadn't gone the way that they had gone, it would have been yours anyway. I was like, damn, that sounds like some deep shit, And I feel like we know, when you have something great, and then there's just times where, being a fucking first world country bastard on Thanksgiving Day, you want so much more, even though you have it all, and you still want more, and you have some more because you can, because you're unstoppable, because you're this great thing, and you will be humbled. God will humble you, and God bless those times when that happens. And I pray that he could be with us when shit's popping off, because we ultimately are, you know what I'm saying, lameless, you know, compared to a bigger, because there's always a bigger, badder thing, always. So, you know, can you imagine the moment when you have to face that? Like, not most people can. That's why I love the story of Enoch so much, because he had walked all the days of his life I guess in good standing with the Lord, that eventually when that 365 happened in years, which tripped me out that that's what a year is in days. Coincidence, I don't fucking know, maybe I'm reaching, but he was taken up, and literally fucking, I imagine, you know, God being like a spaceship kind of thing, you know, some kind of other terrestrial life form that, you know, just beamed him right up and, you know what I'm saying, took him. You know, who knows you know, if he's still sitting around, if he's still, you know, helping battle cats, who knows. But after serving 365 years, you know, he was able to be taken up. So I aspire to that so much. I want that so badly. I know that my bastardness is this, and you know, that does definitely restrict me from doing that, but then it gets me into another thing. So it's like, it's a never-ending cycle. And that's why, not to get all biblical, but that's why I think it was Peter who had said, you know, that every day we're born again, and that we had that ability and that chance to really change shit. And once we do that and we stay consistent, even if we got to start to stop every fucking day, we can only do shit a day at a time if we're lucky, right? All we have is that fucking time, you know, if we're fucking lucky. Because a lot of times, and sometimes I wonder, like, man, like, life's too fucking long. Like, I'm tired of this, the toil. The having fun part is a blast. That toil, oh man, like, it's on some bitch assness, and I will admit that when I'm that way. But it hurts that, you know, you could just be doing so much and feel like, I mean, that's just kind of, we just gotta, you know, really take every opportunity, you know, for its, you know, take every opportunity and fucking do the most. There's a saying, you know what I'm saying, do the, like, I had a homie who said, "What you doing the most?" You know, and that was such a proud statement, which sometimes can be bad, because if you don't actually know, doing too much is bad, but when you doing the most, I mean, people can always fucking flip shit, tit for tat, fucking, you know what I'm saying, yin and yang, everything has the fucking opposite. Like, that's why there is God, you know, that's because it's a battle against, you know what I'm saying, top and bottom, and, you know, faggotry then has the symbolism right there, and shit, just God bless you, for real, may God bless you, may you be a blessing to others, you would hope. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're riding coattails. Speaking of music, fucking Drake's bitch ass. That nigga fucking, I'm hating because I wish I had money like that to give. But he fucking gave 21 Savage, who is ignorant as shit, is stinky. And I mean that in every sense of the fucking word. But he fucking bought him a Ferrari. Now I heard that there's a thing between like him and Meek Mill's kind of fighting over him. So it's so funny to see how, in the term that I've been throwing out, is him being so romantic in essence of being able to buy him this fucking gift, like, here you go, boo, you should come ride with me. And I laugh, but I mean, shit, tactics like that fucking work. I mean, loyalty can always be bought sometimes, especially when you're looking at a savage. But then again, I'm sure that kind of fucking loyalty you're using for a momentum, for a moment, because you don't know how much money you can generate from that. And you can look at fucking the whole Bobby Shmurda bullshit, and, you know, was what they gave him enough to knock on that single and kind of send him off to the wayside? I imagine so. There was no sense in pulling it back out for more. It's almost fucked up because, I mean, in essence, I mean, everything in life actually is, you know, dispensable. You know what I'm saying? Not dispensable, but replaceable for the most part, because you can, well, even if it's a fucking memory, which it would suck to lose a memory, but there's gonna be another memory to come after that. So you would hope, especially if you're hurt, that you can always rise from it. There's always the, you know, next chance. The only fucked up thing is you don't know when you're gonna have a next chance, so you gotta make the chances that you do have fucking count, and, you know, and all that shit. So I really do hope that if you're with family, if you have a family, if you're starting a family, if you're just mind fucked out of your skull, you know, with the family, there's a lot of beauty in it. There's, I think, just as much bullshit to come with it, but, and that's kind of where it depends on the kind of person that you are, looking at, you know, what side you want to focus on. Anyways, fucking Chive had a goddamn gathering here of I guess stories here on the Twitter sphere that just showcases that it's not a family gathering until little kids are running around and one of them smacks their head on the corner of a table and starts screaming their fucking head off. Fucking A. It's not a family gathering until your family criticizes your life decisions, even when they don't have their own lives together. And motherfucker, is this one thing that I definitely have to fucking hear or fear or endure every single time that there is such things. And Thanksgiving being the, you know what I'm saying, the utmost of them. There's such headaches behind having to, you know, bring and be with family and bring them all together that I wonder if it's fucking worth doing it. But then again, it's like the fucked up thing is you just don't know when the next time you're gonna see them is. And that's the shitty part. It's like, fuck, man, why do we have to end it on such a shitty note? Why can't I remember you when I last saw you and we were hanging out, playing a good old time, having a good old time. Like, not here where we're fucking under pressure and then we're in a fucking hurry and all this fucking bullshit. But hashtag, it's not a family gathering until someone has to apologize and not mean one goddamn bit of it. Now, it's not a family gathering until someone asks how school is going and you explain to them that everything is fine. Like fucking, what's his name? Something Nielsen from the Naked Gun movies where the fucking house is exploding, there's fireworks, guys being shot up, and he's just right there saying, nothing to see here, please disperse. Now, it's not a family gathering until an adult is crying. Son of a bitch. It's gonna happen. You said some shit, you went too fucking far, I have to go chase him in the restroom. God bless you. And it's not a family gathering until the grandmother comments on someone's weight. Motherfucker. Man, if there's one thing my mom is notorious for, it's fucking feeding me heap loads of shit. And then as I'm fucking eating it, as I'm enjoying it, as I say, thank you, Mom, you're so awesome. Thank you for serving me. This bitch is going to call you a fat piece of shit. Maybe not so much so directly, or maybe so. God bless you. Now, it's not a family gathering until we find out what happened to my cousin last night. And you see the motherfucker that has this dude. I imagine he's either wearing a wig or he has underwear on his fucking head. You know, but it might be underwear, but it kind of looks like a Santa hat. And he's butt ass naked, I guess, drunk off of a fucking one of those swings made out of a tire. He just looks like he's having a gay old time. Now, it's not a family gathering until you eat till you hate yourself. Lord knows that is how I does it. God bless it. And please help me stop. Now, it's not a family gathering until the one thing you did 6 years ago gets fucking brought up again. Motherfucker, double jeopardy like a bitch. Jodie Foster. No, not Jodie Foster. Some other lady that she was real beautiful. Forgive me for not knowing. It'll be in the comments in the videos. It's not a family gathering until the dogs are properly seated around the table. And fucking A, it's so crazy how the fucking dogs know, like, this bitch is gonna ransack to this plate. I'm gonna get some crumbs. I'm gonna wait for it. Yeah. I know I have a bowl over there, and that bowl's gonna stay over there. I'm waiting for this fucking stuff in the fop. Now, it's not a family gathering until I hear the words, "This is not an intervention." Holy shit. And you know what? We need to have them. If you ever felt like you need to give someone that, you better fucking do it. And God bless it. Yeah, it's not a family gathering until fucking competition begins. And if all y'all, I don't know who plays foosball or bust out the PlayStation, but yeah, that's when you know you're among good family. Now, everyone is on. It's not a family gathering until everyone is on their phones. Fucking A. I tripped out because my grandpa, who, you know, he likes playing slot machines, and actually for some reason he fucking likes Facebook. He likes getting on Facebook and being nosy. Like, it's a fucking perfect thing for him because he could be nosy and talk shit on the comfort of his own couch. Like, it's so fucking meant for him. Anyways, but I saw him on it. I saw my boys fucking playing their Game Boys, cousins on their fucking phones. It's just, just to be around loved ones. Now, it's not a family gathering until someone calls 911. Lord knows I've been through those fucking times. And my mom, she had a pretty popular nickname with my daddy, and it was called La Psycho Bitch. Now, it's not a family gathering until someone has to go outside and calm down. I know there's been times where I'm like, nigga, if I don't go outside right now, have a smoke, enjoy myself, breathe, I'm going to have another fucking story that I'm going to have to hear fucking six years straight in a row, and then once again after everyone forgot. Now, it's not a family gathering until everyone disappears and the kitchen needs cleaning. Now, one thing that one thing I definitely believe, the cook should not have to clean the kitchen. But motherfucker, do those cooks that deserve such things make their fucking mess. Goddamn. Now, it's not a family gathering until your mom starts to tell everyone your business that she promised she wouldn't tell anybody about. Now, one thing that I've kind of been doing, because I know how that shit is, and I know I can't trust my mom or my sister, God bless them. So I give them information that I'm being more strategic. If I can control myself, I will give information that, in a way, I don't mind if it comes out, because once it comes out, it can hopefully be talked about or figured out. I mean, hopefully not another strike against my record, but people do that shit subliminally, just like some fucking serial killers. Saying they want to get caught. Not that I want to get caught, but I just, something needs to be figured out, and I hope that I'm not doing it foolishly. I hope that I'm fucking wise, and here's to hoping. Now, it's not, speaking of which, it's not a family gathering until Grandpa asked me to pull his finger. For some fucking reason, my Gramps, this holiday season, he had, like, a thing about making, like, bear noises, or like to put his hands up like I'm not sure if he's being arrested or if he's a bear attacking you, but that seemed to have been a thing that happened every time he took pictures. I don't know if this thing is just becoming crazy and we're not noticing it, but that happened. Now, it's not a family gathering until your job, partner, and apartment are all under analysis by your aunts and uncles. Motherfucker, one thing that I hate to fucking God, and forgive me because you should always love, but one thing that fucking really pulls my fucking foreskin is when my mom fucking doesn't announce herself. She might call to bug you, and then you ignore her, of course, because you're in the middle of shit and you can't be bothered. And she fucking ends up showing up when the fucking house isn't at its cleanest. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the middle of doing something, so you're fucking agitated, and just fucking decides to come on in. Now, you can stop her, but the last time that you fucking stopped her, this bitch made a fucking scene, swore to my grandmother, who is my mama, that I kicked her fucking bitch ass out, and all of a sudden I'm a monster, and I'm gonna regret these words, and that, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna happen to me. And Lord, rebuke that bullshit. There has to be boundaries, and unfortunately my family, they don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. Fucking hooray for Trump for being the fucking pussy grabber. A lot of us aren't gonna fucking know restraint, and it's a damn shame when that happens, because it makes things difficult, and it causes tension that shouldn't have to be there, all because people don't fucking have manners, or because shit has continued on for so long and I haven't said shit because it's been what I used to, but not fucking standing up to where, you know what I'm saying, now it's fucking rearing its ugly head at the worst fucking times. Now I know that when people, especially addicts, when they will seek replenishment in whichever fucking way, just how we will seek a vice in any other fucking manner, because we need something. We need something to keep us going, something to Jones on, something to fucking create this fucking, hand gesture of motion that's using up this energy that we need for something else, or that we used to give to something else. God bless it. And it just, it really, it's just shit anyway. So what I'm trying to say, this bitch will fucking come in here, fucking snoop through every fucking nook and cranny, and then the fucking talking shit about it. Like, bitch, if you would have mind your business, you wouldn't have seen this shit, because it doesn't concern you, because this is a fucking private area. Man, gotta help those people. Help my people. Help me. Now, it's not family. It's not a family gathering until someone is live tweeting the horrible moments. Motherfucker, and that is a day and age that we live in nowadays, with the fucking Twitter fingers and whatnots. Now, and I haven't really been under these circumstances just because I kind of keep to my caves, but it's not a family gathering until I'm introduced to a family member I didn't know existed. Now, I know if I were to go on to the greater areas in Mexico, or, Syria, or fucking whatever place you would imagine that an illegal came from, Africa, yeah, that's when they all come out. Build the wall! So Lord have mercy on all of our souls. We're gonna have to give a sacrifice, right? We want to be able to give this beautiful, lameless thing, to the greater gods, and hope that the, aroma of them burning, I guess, or I would like to sacrifice them by slicing them on my dick. That's what I would like to do, But I know that'd be selfish, and I think priests usually only get like 10% of the cut. I forget what it is. It's in the Old Testament. But as you would know, it is now time for dedication. Oh yeah. Now, I've been to the movies in a minute, but that doesn't stop me from fucking window shopping and just wishing and hoping and just putting my hands up in there hoping for a fucking movie ticket to come down or some kind of free monies that I can go spend frivolously on. But one movie that came out that I definitely do not plan on paying for, but I did have the DVD of the original, was Bad Santa. And Bad Santa 2 is out. And one thing that almost, I mean, I'm not gonna say it allured me enough to fucking want to go pay for the shit, but Juanita, who was previous dedication on the IBHM podcast, Christina Hendricks, says you might remember her from Mad Men. Apparently she was in Drive, which I wouldn't have thought, and she's also in Another Period, which is another dope show that has two of my favorite Juanitas, fucking Natasha, some shit, coke-core Italian bitch, and some other pale, damn near looks like she's thoughtless. She's part of the Christina McCucci's fucking, or Kate McCucci's group. I forget her, something Garfield and Oaks. Anyways, she was in Zoolander 2. Goddamn, this is what it is. She's in some things. And if I had to, split something, with myself and a sacrifice, or just throw one into the fire, like, here you go, this is a good one, I promise you, because it is a good one. She's happened to be a vintage at the top of it. She just turned 41, I guess. Anyway, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, she's definitely very talented, but she was very well endowed and just made so voluptuous. It's crazy. So shouts out to God, and keep making them that way. It's very scary. But one person that if I had to kind of snuggle away and put her off in the basement until she gets older is a girl who, Lord forgive me, is in the new Mona Disney movie. So she's the next princess in line, and you almost would have thought, I'm waiting for them to make another fucking Aladdin so they can make a fucking Middle Eastern bitch a princess again, but I think they might not want to go that route. Anyway, so far they're working their way. You know what, let's be positive, they're working their way. And this new one is based out in Hawaii, and this girl, her name is Lui Kramwolha, I can't fucking say, but she's a young, and she was born November 22nd, so shouts out to her. But she just turned 16. Hold on for me, baby. But she's just very beautiful. She can sing. She's like, I thought she's too witty to be a fucking Hawaiian, but she stars in the new action movie, and I actually want to take my little one to see that one. He had some kind of flyer or some shit. The people, Disney's very smart about their advertisements, and definitely leave you with some leave behind so that you can savor it and yearn for it all the more. And I know as soon as I take the oldest fucking to school, me and this nigga are gonna go fucking see that shit in theaters. Hopefully he can behave. I fucked up thinking that I had the oldest one with me. Tried to see Civil War 2. Got into a not tussle. Got more like a little fucking shout. Not even want to say this. There's a bitch fucking hipster cunt in front of me that was pissed off that the kid was crying. And yeah, I was that fucking person. But I give no fucking shits. Hate me all you fucking want. And this fucker said, "Get your fucking kid out of here." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." And it turned into just to be a little bitch assness spout. But I hope that doesn't happen this time, and we can fucking enjoy the movie. She's just adorable, and I just feel like I hope for all those that are Disney stars, and not fucking the bitches that are out there in the podiums that they try to fucking pimp and whore like Miley Cyrus. But I hope that she can be something that's positive. She has a very like electrifying kind of personality. If you see her interview, she just seems like an old soul, and I just hope that it's not fucking taken into perversion as most niggas might be looking at when they've been saying that. But it's very people. I feel, especially just when they say our personality comes out, or who people we're gonna be, we are when we're 7, when we turn 7, which is why I'm looking at these boys like, I wonder, are you gonna be good? Oh shit, no, like I gotta get the hell out of here. No, Lord forbid. But you could just. Once souls are developed, and I say this to those and that have already, love yours. Definitely love yours. And take care of it. And, we don't know what might happen or where it'll go, but love it. And give it all the love that you fucking possibly can. If there's one thing I can take from, having to be around the worst of the worst, when it's supposed to be a gathering of all your best, or you're giving of all your best, definitely love those that stick it through and through, and those that are worth it. And I hope and I pray that God can discern in us the ability, the gift of discernment, so we can see who are for us and who are against us, and may we use those that are against us in ways to move us forward, and may we love and take care of those that that need it and that deserve it, and that we're able to give. So on that note, I definitely want to give a shout out for all those that are listened, who have stuck it through. You could always reach me at SoulPapo. That's SoulPapo. If you ever want to become a producer of the show, you can go to patreon.com/SoulPapo. So, you know what I'm saying? I hope to be able to talk at you motherfuckers again. Be well. Definitely God bless.
Thankful for family.
I'm thankful for.
That's all the time we have. Let's eat.
What the fuck I look like crying over some nigga that don't want me when I could be mouth harassing a hamburger? Bitch!
I just wanna be the one you love. I just wanna be the one you love.
Round one, fight.
Mega Ultra Super Deluxe Championship Hadouken Edition!
Nigga, bitch, you be dragging like the cherry on my blunt when I don't come correct with the matches, flashes, her smashing is the only way to make up for this back-to-back traffic. You right back to my patience, and I am usually the hella chill guy, but you bugging like a kid who keeps asking why. Bitch, you got some explaining to do, so please don't take this as being broke, but
Always gonna love your job. Then why do you do it? Because you're stupid.
we all gotta do what we gotta do, right? So I'm finna get it till I take what is mine. Just like a little kid, it's all about high.
Fuck you, every single motherfucker that gets in my way. Gonna be blessed by the crosshairs grace. Living life just like it's a maze. Knock down the door and get that cheesecake. Space it, wherever your mind needs to have it. Stop it, stab it. Motherfucker, I'm finna have it. Havoc.